The Teen Phantom Part 19 in audio. She is not in the defense arts as we are, but she can move so quickly it could be dangerous to meddle with her, and as for our great-grandpa, he cannot maneuver as she can. I have never seen anyone else that can come close to matching him. I certainly cannot match him. It is as if they know what you are going to do before you do it. That really does solve the mystery, and it is fantastic. It is. And Agape also has a very beautiful voice, but she will not sing for anyone, absolutely not for an audience. Those fortunate to hear her must be sly enough to sneak upon her. Of course she fancies playing her little flute while sitting in the deep forest with all her little furry friends. She only plays and sings her own songs, she composes all of them, all her words are concerning nature, it takes in the whole universe. Her music is more beautiful than any I have heard. This I speak is very confidential. She would be as irritated as you if your secrets were exposed. She does not mind her close friends spying on her, but she does not want to know about it. I must not tell you her age. What I will tell you she would not mind me telling you, but no one else. She is much like you. She is much older than she looks. That is so incredible. She lives in a world of her own, and how beautiful it is. It would mean a great deal to me to get to see and hear her. I will arrange that for you. It will be my great pleasure. Even Sis will appreciate you seeing and hearing her. Except for great-grandpa, she respects no one more than you, Charlotte. I don't know how, but she seems to know all about you. Before we have to part, Mello, I would like to ask you if you would arrive a little early. Ted Watson can give you a tour of the school, then you can help lead tours. Would you mind? It is a pleasure to assist you in anything you will allow me. Would you tell Jane I will be calling her and making arrangements to spend some time with her? I will, Mello, it will make her very happy. Charlotte turns towards the little cliff leisurely. She makes her way to the entrance of her underground domain, not looking back until she is ready to vanish into the trees and underbrush that conceals the access to the transition. Charlotte looks back over her shoulder and realizes Mello has fixed his gaze on her all the while. She turns back toward Mello. She curtseys without looking at Mello. Charlotte then turns and melts into the darkness of the foliage cover. Then the mountain of rock swallows her. She steps into her awesome underground domain. Coming from her visit with Mello, she feels very contented. She is very relaxed and in no hurry. Before Charlotte goes upstairs to the library, she turns her ears on to locate Nikki and Jane, but neither answers. Charlotte goes to her room, changes into some jeans and blouse, then she heads for her office in the library to start working. When she enters the library, there sits Jane with a soft, relaxed smile. Did you have a good time? Yes, being with Mello for a while makes you feel like you could conquer the whole world. It feels as if I brought him home. I had breakfast with him and his great-grandfather in the most pleasant setting I have ever experienced. Why don't you have your ears on? My ears? Oh, I am not accustomed to that term yet. Jane seems to be a little embarrassed. I would not like the feeling I would get listening in. I understand, but you could not have tuned in. I was locked out. It was not that we had anything to hide. I honored Mello's privacy. We did spend some time comforting each other. It thrills me just to think about you and Mello hugging each other. If I were to watch you, I would enjoy every moment of it. I love you both very much. I could never do anything that would hurt either of you. You know that, don't you, Jane? Charlotte has tripped Jane's emotions. As Jane reaches her arms out to Charlotte, she manages a few soft words. Yes, I know, Tyke. Charlotte finds herself in Jane's lap, receiving love as only Jane can give. Maybe Charlotte was wrong. Jane may be as emotional as Charlotte is. Jane is truly making up for the love Charlotte missed from her mother. Charlotte realizes great-grandpa truly understands about her family. A bit of cuddling, then Jane cradles Charlotte's head in her arms so she can look into Charlotte's face. When Mello cuddles me in his arms, it feels the same as it does when you do. Like I do. You mean you let No, you couldn't, did you? Jane looks to be terrified. Please, Jane, don't be upset, you cannot get pregnant just hugging. You do know that, don't you? Of course I do, smarty pants. I am thinking of what he could do to you. I was not trying to act smart or clever. I didn't know what mom had put into your head to scare you away from boys. I have known girls that thought you get pregnant from just kissing. You are serious, aren't you, Tyke? Of course I am. You don't know him as I do. He would never treat me in an erotic way. He understands great relationships as I do. Did you and Mello kiss? Yes, he kissed me. Jane, with a very uncomfortable look, says, in the mouth. No, I would never do a thing like that. It is like having sex. It is filthy too. You could get AIDS in some circumstances. I can guarantee Mello wouldn't kiss like that either. What is AIDS? Don't you? Oh, I almost forgot. You have been living on the planet of no reality with mom too long. It is that new disease. Well, it is not actually new, they knew about it before my time. I have always wondered how it would feel. Lula Bell says it feels wonderful. That figures. I would suspect that of her. I should have never let her do that makeup job on me. Oh yes, you should have. We could not have missed that fantastic show. It made me do some serious thinking, and mom too. She has not been the same since. I know she wished she had never treated you as she did. Do you know why Flint Weasel left? No, but some of the kids think he and mom had something going that would not be pretty for it to be exposed. They think he feared the little lioness exposing him. Most of the kids think she would have sniffed him out if he had stayed around. I really don't see mom doing anything bad. The kids say they have seen some strange goings on. Please, Jane, I do not want to think about mom in that way. She is going to change. We will be a happy family someday. You think so? You really have changed. Yes, I realize life has been difficult for you and mom. I am not saying I will not be upset if mom does things that I think are mean or unreasonable, but I do respect her more and I feel sorry for her. We all need to help her. Do you know where Nikki is? Yes, she went with Little Love to her place. Nikki stayed with Little Love last night. Lee spent the night there too. They wanted to come and get me this morning, but I wanted to stay here. Were you afraid of running into Mello and me? Is that the reason you didn't want to go over there? Jane looks down at Charlotte with a sheepish smile. How did you guess? I will just say, when one leaves evidence strewn all over the place, she should expect to be found out. I enjoyed staying home. I watched 2 of your movies and I love watching that cute little boy as much as the animals. Why did you have someone else to do your narrating? That little boy just melts my heart. I suppose he is one of your close friends. You're not sweet on him, are you? I suppose I am. If I tell you why, would you keep it a secret? Jane, with mischief in mind, says, absolutely. This sounds very interesting. I must meet him sometime soon. You may, but it may embarrass you. I narrated it all. Jane stares at Charlotte in astonishment. No, you didn't. Really, that is magnificent. You did tell me at times you needed to look like a boy and he was wearing a Stetson. Yes, it definitely must be a secret. I could never expose you, Tyke. Feeling close to you is the most precious feeling in my life. It would be the death of mom if she ever found out. You must have a fantastic makeup artist. I am not in the least embarrassed. That little boy still melts my heart, and so do you. Mello will be calling you anytime now. He wants to spend some time with you alone. That thrills part of me and the other part is scared stiff. He will not seduce you, I can assure you of that, and if you do not let him know that you want him to snuggle you in his arms, I doubt he will make the attempt. He may lead you around by your hand, that is if you do not jerk away, in some way, even if it is only in words. You will know when you have finished your visit he loves you very much. You will know he is the most wonderful friend you have ever known. Jane looks down into her little sister's face with a mischievous smile. You did that beautifully. I did not realize you were a sales lady for Matchmakers Incorporated. We learn something new every day then, don't we, Jane? Yes, one thing I have learned is that I have the sweetest little sister in the whole world. Pulling Charlotte to her, Jane hugs Charlotte and assures her that she loves her little sister. She then pushes Charlotte to her feet and gets up, saying she should not waste any more of Charlotte's time. Jane says that she would ask Charlotte to be her chaperone, but Jane knows Charlotte has a very full schedule, and anyway, Charlotte had convinced Jane that she did not need one. Besides, Jane doubted it would be good for Mello to have the distraction of Charlotte being around. Then Jane gives Charlotte one of those mischievous smiles and she turns to head out the door as she says, "I will go to my room and wait for Mello to call." After Jane leaves, Charlotte gets busy in her office. She has worked no more than 10 minutes when Mello calls. Charlotte is speaking. "This is Mello. I thought you were going to call Jane." "I will call her, but I need some advice from you first." "You have contacted the wrong person then. I am not a giver of advice, especially to those with male status." "I am sorry, Charlotte, I really mean suggestions. Of course some suggestions could be good advice, but I would not hold you responsible for the outcome." "You wonder how you can get Jane over to your place. There you go, little sis, you are tuned into my brain waves." "Oh, I don't know, it could be maybe I have observed you enough to know how you think." "That would not surprise me either. Anyway, you are absolutely right. That is what concerns me. You are one cunning little girl. You could be a handful for any who would declare war on you. You are not the same little girl I met last Thursday. There is certainly another side to you." "Oh, you really think so? I am not aware of any changes. You just never knew me very well, perhaps." "I warned you, when you learn all about me you may not like me so well." "I doubt that very much. The more I learn about you, the more you seem a part of my life. I have had some serious thoughts since you left. If all I ever have with you is a little sister relationship, I will be very grateful. I know I must accept life as it comes and be happy with it." "You are very wise and understanding. What you have told me makes me feel very close to you. I will tell you, as I told Jane, whomever you marry, you need to inform her that I will not give up the relationship I have with you. If that scares her, she would be wise to reconsider marriage. You cannot steal love. It comes from our own selves, not the other person. Love is not marriage. The purpose of marriage is to have children, but marriage would certainly be empty without love. Most are empty because few know what love is. Marriage should be by truth and facts concerning genes and health, not by fascination and sexual fantasy. One thing that disturbs me is that we know how to breed animals to obtain the finest quality, then we yield to our crazy emotions, sexual fantasies, and end up with pitiful, unhealthy, deformed, mentally retarded, and crippled children, even children that are born into starvation and poverty. It is all very inhuman and selfish. If I had a genetic disease and married someone that didn't, I could not convince myself that I love my husband or the children that I would have by him. We should take control of the population of the world. Many children come into the world that would be better not to have been born. Many are born into starvation with no hope of life. I am with you, Charlotte. I value our close bond very much. I see now why our great-grandfather is so fired up about you. Now for that suggestion, you could send Nikki and little Love over for Jane, then they could meet you at your little buggy." "That sounds fine, but I just realized Love is not here. I will have to send Nikki." Love fell into a real serious mood, saying she needed to take care of some things, and took off saying she would be back later. Strange things usually start happening when she does this. So do not let the unexpected take you by surprise. "You mean someone may find her sitting in the woods charming her little furry friends?" "Yes, that is possible too, but I think someone is in need. It is strictly to do with needs of others. I must let you go and get back to work. I have an hour or so of total mind commitment." Jane is waiting in her room for your call, I will speak to you later.